This is Sybert signing into Red Alert 3. The map is going to be Temple Prime. PC is going to be the yellow Soviets, actually playing as random. And over on the right side of Temple Prime, playing as the blue Empire, it is going to be Proffloff. So it is going to be Proffloff versus the, I believe, Chinese player PC, who's going for Barracks and then Reactor. So I guess nothing too unusual out of him. We will see. I'm not actually familiar with this person. I think that the name, or the part of the name YZZD is the clan, and then PC is one of the guys on the clan. I'm not entirely sure, although there doesn't seem to be too many people who know for surezies. So if you do, please enlighten me. But other than that, this is going to be getting under the way. Soviet versus Empire. And Proffloff is going to be going for, I believe, 3 dojos, although it may have been 4. It is going to be 4. And he's going to be going for dual refinery after that. So nothing too crazy out of either one of these players. And look at that. PC definitely knows what he's doing. And he's going to be going directly for only that southern oil derrick. Which, I mean, you can go for either one. But chances are Empire player is going to be going for at least 2 dojos to one of these. So as Soviets, unless you really, really want to push infantry, which obviously PC does not want to go, as he's going for War Factory before Super Reactor, most likely to get out a couple of sickles and also maybe even a bullfrog or 2 just to protect against any sort of aircraft that may be coming up. And look at that, the good control of that engineer, and with the berry will not get the... Oh, wow, what the heck? PC somehow able to actually get inside of that oil derrick. I didn't think he was going to be able to do it, but oh, and immediately recapped by Proffloff. So good on Proffloff, making sure he's claiming both of those oil derricks just for the slight eco boost, although not as big of an eco boost from the bottom one, just because PC did get that 500 credits, which means he got the cash back for that engineer, which isn't a huge deal, but it is a little bit of a deal, and it is a nice kind of cashback reward. Basically, selling off that barracks, not too unusual, and going for Tengus right out of the gate with the Mecha Bay, most likely going to be going for a scout, although he's already got a pretty solid scout off with these Imperial Warriors. He's going to be able to see basically everything. PC going to be moving his MCV to that kind of center little plateau there, and going to be trying to set up an expansion there, and actually PC will be able to hold on to that building, which means Proffloff, I'm actually curious as to what PC actually has in there, because if it's a couple of flak troopers, that could be absolutely great. Proffloff going to be trying to go for that ore collector. However, it does look like the MCV is going to be moving up to the land and going to be trying to harass, but hammer tanks are out, which means that... Actually, no more hammer tanks. I thought he was going to be going for 3 or 4 hammer tanks, but he's actually going to be more focused on the economy and getting that 3rd expansion up. And oh, Proffloff, huge mistake there. Actually, it wasn't that huge. Depending on how long that refinery was there, it could have been a double huge mistake, although it may have just been a huge mistake. And the first Terror drone is running around the map trying to find something to harass. If he's able to snipe that, which he definitely won't be able to, but that's always a big deal if you're able to snipe an entire refinery like that. However, Dual Tengu will be trying to take down this ore collector, switching it into that adaptive armor mode. I really don't know why he wasn't attacking that sickle with both of them. He's not going to be able to kill that ore collector. He's trying to do as much damage as he can, but he might have been able to actually take down that sickle instead of losing a Tengu and getting nothing, having nothing to show for it. Going to be going for the scout and actually relinquishing control of that. I believe PC did hold that with his conscripts, which means he's going to actually be giving up control, and if he's able to just park this Terror drone out there, hopefully Proffloff sees that and is able to totally realize it, and the MCV just busts right through this. It doesn't even run over that Tengu, just busts right through. PC looking to take out this barracks, which isn't a big deal, just 500 credits down the drain. I'm assuming Proffloff will sell it off, get some cash back. However, not going to be sticking around with that sickle. He's immediately moving out with it, which is kind of dangerous just because it's so low on health that it may not actually do anything on its own. Proffloff does sell off, isn't able to actually do any damage. However, Proffloff is going to be revealing immediately that he does have chopper VXs, which means the tier 2 is out, going to be getting out some additional Tengus. However, with those bullfrogs and possibly even additional flak troopers on the way, however, one may go down immediately, and he might as well get the barracks while he can. The engineer is going to be heading out, possibly heading for this southern oil derrick. However, he may simply be going, well, he may be going for some sort of a capture instead of Proffloff's base. That would be highly unlikely, as he already did claim that northern oil derrick. He is going for that southern one, dropping down the airfield, possibly to get out some Migs, although he may be going for Twin Blades as well, but Migs would help him cope with these air forces out of our Empire. Proffloff, and Proffloff going for more harassment and not bringing that Bullfrog over may have been a little bit of a mistake, just because they will be able to do a little bit of damage, and with that hammer tank there, those MiGs, or those Tengus, won't be able to do anything. Instead, a MiG does go down, and the Tengu will not go down. Proffloff able to escape with hardly a pixel of HP, but somehow he was able to make it, and that Terror Drone will actually take down that Tengu. However, it does look like the Tengus are doing a fair amount of damage, so even though that they're dying, because they do have that honorable discharge, I guess, top secret protocol purchase, they do damage even in their death. He is going for a crane, so in keeping that close to the airfield, that's personally where I like to keep it if I can, keep it close to the airfield, and it's also in a fairly forward position, which means it'll be pretty useful for those vehicle repairs, and throwing in flak troopers into that center building is such a good idea as long as you're able to afford it, because then, I mean, you're almost guaranteed that the flying stuff from the Empire is going to take the shortest route, which is just going to be straight over that. And then, hey, you have anti-tank and anti-air right there on the center. You also have a little bit of scouting, and somehow Proffloff hasn't actually moved forward to take this expansion. And so PC's like, huh, you're not going to take it? I am going to take it then, and I really hope you don't mind, because that will allow me to drop down Tesla coils almost inside of your base, which he can do if he would like. However, will the Tsunami Tank Micro actually be good enough to take out all of these conscripts? Not a huge deal, although it is a little bit of a deal just to clean those up. Desolator Airstrike does drop those bombs. The Badger Bombers do go ahead and drop those on down there. And a little bit of Bullfrog Twin Blade, not a big Bullfrog Twin Blade combo. However, a Bear will scout that expansion for Proffloff. Proffloff needs to make sure that Harvester gets back to work. And no, he may not actually get the chance, although the Twin Blade and the Bullfrog both did turn around. And a fair unit mix out of Proffloff. He's got all of his bases covered. He's got his anti-air, anti-infantry, and of course anti-tank. However, tanks are pretty good at that infantry stuff just because they can run stuff over so easily. But leading with your anti-air, never a good idea. Locking down one of those expensive chopper VXs, striker VXs rather, and he's just going to be pushing right in here. Proffloff trying to get on top of those units, so even if he loses anything, it immediately does damage. However, he has to be careful of that MCV because, hey, MCVs are ridiculously strong. Loses a hammer tank, takes out a Tengu as well, and even going to be producing a couple of more units. A guy, I guess, he wants to get a Bear or two out just to try and help deal with those Imperial Warriors. However, MCV desperately trying to run over these tanks. It is a little bit slow, and Proffloff may very well be able to get the kill on that. Harvester needs to run his tanks forward. Actually, PC is not going to be going for the crush. Immediately turns it around right there, and he gets two Tsunami tanks. So Proffloff making some some pretty big missteps there as he was mis-microing a little bit, and it could be due to lag as some of the Asian players, anyone playing from overseas, over the Pacific that is, often has a little bit higher of a ping, and so sometimes it does induce lag. That could be what happened there, and if Proffloff knows his stuff as a gamer, your number one excuse is always going to be lag, whether it's true or not. That's, of course, what I always do. Anytime I make a mistake in a cast even, yeah, it was lag, but it's client only. And oh, it was lag. There was lag somewhere, somehow. I am not at fault. However, Proffloff, that could be why he just mis-microed a little bit. Otherwise, he was just not on his top game with that engagement. Going to be losing a couple of Imperial Warriors to those Bears, and a third as well. Never a good situation, and the Bears will get taken out nearly immediately. Tengu's desperately trying to take down some of these Ore Collectors, although he will dodge the rockets. So if we look at that, Proffloff is actually going to be able to dodge those rockets, and he's desperately trying to stay on top of that Ore Collector because, hey, it's kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't, because if you don't kill the Tengu, he kills your Ore Collector. If you do kill the Tengu, he kills your Ore Collector. However, Terror Drone's going to be able to take down the Ore Collectors on the north side and also on the south side. Both of those Ore Collectors will go down. An instant heroic status for that Terror Drone, although he may have gotten the veteran status from the one up top. A couple of Chopper VXs, will they be able to snipe this Terror Drone if it does stop moving? And you might just camp it right there. That is kind of dangerous just because then you can get picked off by something like a like a VX and just have absolutely no chance. However, the Terror Drone is actually going to be heading inside, and he may be able to slip in here. Well, he can slip in here. Will he choose to? No, he's actually going to be going on the north side. He could be just going for that ore collector up there, which he will. It is a little bit safer from any sort of attack from Proffloff, and Proffloff will get the snipe on that Terror Drone, which is just good for him. And from the high ground, even with those magic beams from the Leech Beam, they will be able to, those Hammer Tanks will be able to take down that Tengu. So suddenly, Proffloff is against the ropes, and he's got four refineries, but he doesn't actually have 4 harvesters. While it does look like the harvesters for PC are actually all online, he was able to rebuild the ones that he lost, and he does still control this oil derrick, which is just a little bit of supplementary income for PC. Actually, PC being a little bit annoying and just going to be taking that building with just a single conscript, just to get a little bit of scouting information, but also just to annoy Proffloff. And transforming there, I don't know if that's a good idea. There isn't a whole lot of stuff for them to shoot, although he did need to get them out of range of those bullfrogs nearly immediately and setting up his MCV on the low ground. Or is it simply going to be for crushes? We will wait and see. PC could just completely steamroll Proffloff in this engagement. He is going to be leading with the MCV, which is like, hey, just shoot me and ignore the hammer tanks behind me, which there are only 3 hammer tanks, but with the support of the 3 bullfrogs and the Terror Drone, meaning those tsunami tanks don't stand a chance. A single Chopper VX will go down, and the bullfrogs will get to pick off these other 2, and Proffloff is not actually engaging with anything. He's just sitting here taking damage, which is never a good situation to be in, and now PC is actually doing the exact same thing. He was just taking damage, didn't pull his bullfrogs back quite in time, and look at that, Proffloff staying on top of that, although I don't know if he has anything to actually deal with this army at his forefront, because this MCV micro out of that PC, I have a feeling, is going to be good enough to take down anything that comes out of here, unless it might be a Tengu, which would have to instantly transform just to get shot down by the bullfrogs, which wouldn't be a very good situation. And it does look like everything will be going down for Proffloff, I'm assuming, unless he's somehow able to pull something out of his hat and make it all work with a single Defender VX and sending off an extra generator to the edges of the map. But I can't imagine that PC would actually not decide to take down that Defender core. And if he doesn't, he won't be able to do a whole lot with it anyways. MCV trying to get a crush on that, on the ore collector. So PC showing that he knows what an all-in is. Okay, it's not quite an all-in, but he's bringing his MCV, so you might as well call it an all-in. And one more of those Chopper VXs will go down. Proffloff has been defeated, despite playing a solid game with lots of standard, solid play. But PC, in the end, was able to win, and once again, could have been a latency issue that caused some of those problems for Proffloff, but in the end, you cannot deny that PC played very well, and even only 12 minutes, but quite a lot was going on in that game. That will do it for this game, and I hope you enjoyed it. This is Sybert, signing out.